Hi everyone, it is just hit 4 p.m. Whoopsie, on Sunday the 23rd of July 2023. Dang. I have not long been home from my third viewing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's in Melbourne, and I'm laughing to myself because I have days like today where I spent a few moments before turn the camera on. Hold that thought. So, if you've been following along for a little while, you may know that I make videos every day. Yes, there has been in the recent somewhat past. It doesn't even sound right to me, but anyway, you can find it by look and go, and we're stuck. Alright, let's try this again. Hi people, it's Liv. I'm here in Melbourne, Australia. It's 4:01 in the afternoon on the 23rd of July 2023, and I make videos as if they are live and then upload them immediately without viewing them, so that they are exactly as authentic as they are when I make them. So when I restart videos like this, the first part, you're all going to get to see. Which makes me laugh, yeah? Anyway, so I've not long been home from the city. I had my third and final show, view of Words Don't Come Out Right. I saw Rocky Horror again for the third time today with Juice and his wonderfully beautiful partner, who I finally met, who has chosen the name Spice. Juice and Spice. It's quite cool, really, when you think about it. They've got like rainbow coloured hair. It's awesome. And I've got these really cool photos with them. And no, I don't have people in my videos and pictures and whatnot because I didn't think it was a big deal, and you watch other people's videos and it shouldn't be a big deal. Shouldn't. Hate that word. Don't like that word. But it can be, because like I've said, this is the second time I've done this. So I made videos every single day for an entire year, I started from the 1st of October 2017 to the 1st of October 2018. I did make a video, I think, off the top of my head, on the 27th of September that I think I may have dated as day one, because I made these videos and I didn't miss a single one, yeah? And it was the first year I'd started university, like I was going through all these changes, like I was telling Spice today, because truth be told, when I tell someone something and this someone has a partner, and at least I mean, it's given. I share my whole world with people, as I said to Spice today, right? I'm that person who wants everyone to know everything because it just makes my life easier. I don't truthfully see how everyone else can't see that, right? Anyway, many things have happened since I made a desert video. They're either all going to be intertwined, which is what we're used to if you watch me and my videos, and may get lost along the way. Hopefully I don't miss too many endings, but I just feel like at 4 minutes I'm feeling pretty empty wrong with that one. Well, the thing I'm trying not to do, therapy. I've been in therapy for years. Therapy, I love it. I love it so much. I film it so you can all watch mine, see how good it is. There's literally nothing to be ashamed of if you see a therapist, counselor. Just make sure whoever it is you're seeing is actually knows what the fuck they're doing. That's all I can say. Lots of bad manipulators out there who will take a very vulnerable person and sell them the world and take their money and leave them high and dry. I'm a fucking student of disability, making videos, trying to keep myself sane because I live by myself, and I will say my life has very much changed. I can see that. I'm actually pretty on the go so much these days that I'm so exhausted that I literally, it's almost like I know I need to schedule. Unfortunately, I don't even know exactly when it's going to hit. And again, need to try and figure out this routine. I'm only 37 and a half. I'm sure I will get there. I'm very young, right? As far as I'm concerned, my life restarted when I put the ice pipe down for the last time, right? And I put the ice pipe down for the very last time at, wait, hold on. I know what time I smoked it, and that was 4:30 in the morning on the 24th of July, and that was due to a whole story that isn't even a little bit going to be touched on right now because I don't have time, I don't have the energy, and I may have already explained it, and anyway, not about that. But the point is, Monday, when I first quit, I would say that the 24th of July was the anniversary of me quitting ice, but I smoked on the 24th, so I think it was like year 2, I was like, gonna make it the 25th, which coincidentally coincides with my sister and her daughter, my beautiful niece's birthday. Oh, I've had like the shakes and dry mouth since I got up that are progressively getting worse. I've been up since, so many stories, since Juice called me at 7:37. So yeah, that's Monday. So like I said, today's the 23rd. The 23rd was the day of the incident, or the night of the incident, right? And I'm just going to call it that for the moment. And like I said, it was 4:30 in the morning on the 24th. So if you think about it, it was like Saturday night was the 23rd. Yeah, 7 years ago. 23rd was Saturday. There was an event. The event ended the way it did and resulted in me calling my friend slash bring me drugs friend, and smoking ice again at 4:30 in the morning. That's what I said, on the 24th of July 2016. So technically on Tuesday, coming not more than 4 days away, I'm celebrating 7 years, yeah? Whoopee! Ironically, I'm going to celebrate 7 years at Cassidy's house. Well, I don't know my full plans with her, but I do know that her uncle and I are definitely catching up, because I know I've explained to you all by now. Cassidy is my friend from uni. She's 21. I'm 37, yeah? So I'm close to her mum's age. And, like, this sounds so wrong, the growing ups. But she knows I don't mean her, like, it's no disrespect when I say she's a kid, but she's a kid to me and to them in that sense. Don't be disheartened or just mad or jump to whatever by me saying that, okay? I don't personally think age is anything. I literally started again at 30, I think, yeah? I remember my 30th birthday very well, like extremely, to the point I can see it in my mind like a video well, yeah? And I can see all the different things that led to it, but again, I have no real recollection, just I have fragments of flashes of memory of the 23rd night, right? So the story I know, the incident that I will tell, because I've probably already told it, just not for now, is not told from the point of view of my memory. Well, I mean, it is to an extent, right? And then the rest of it's filled in by everybody else that was there and their input into what happened. Believe you me, like I keep saying to people, like, this is bigger than me, yeah? I don't know what the fuck is happening. Like, I'm here to fuck up, I guess, and boy, oh boy, I promise you all, I fuck up, yeah? And then try to figure it the fuck out, because literally, I need a purpose. And as I was saying to Spice today, far as I'm concerned. And I need to remember the big picture, which is why I've taken one of Gandhi's rules off my meditation room wall and put it on this one, and it's number 9, which says, be congruent, be authentic, be your true self. Happiness is when what you think, you say, and what you do are in harmony. Now, I'm pretty fucking authentic. I think we can all agree with that, yeah? But what started this, and I know I've mentioned this before, was the awakening. The things that were happening in my life, in reality, down here, in 3D, yeah? That got me to, well, here, I guess, but that's what started it going. That and Mr. X and the insane, crazy, fucking, like, world we lived in for those couple of years. Like, Mr. X and I's relationship would make a fucking unbelievable movie. And that's not me being biased, I can tell you right now. It's that fucked up. The only reason and I was saying this to Spies and I was saying this to Juice because I'm not living fully congruently, because this all started way back when. It all started with something bigger than me. Something that I believe in a way that has literally changed my life. I mean, I loved ice. People find it really weird how easy I find it to talk about this stuff, but I'm not ashamed of my past. Like, you can judge me all you like if you'd like to. You can write little comments and say things, and honestly, I truthfully couldn't care less. Yeah, you believe you me. When I went on TV on the first time, like, there's a Facebook page dedicated to the fucking episode of the show I'm on. Reading the comments written about myself, gonna be honest, hilarious. Yeah? Like, I have all sorts of fucked up problems in my mind, right? Truthfully, obviously I'm aware. I'm doing what the fuck I can. I'm on pills coming out my ears. Have I accepted that I need to be medicated? Yes. But, like, I'm prescribed some pretty hardcore drugs, yeah? I don't barely take, like, I was saying again, like, the only time I take them usually is if I've got to work or drive to the doctor's because it's miles away, or to campus or something. Like, I much more rather vape my weed, especially at home. But, everything is happening, and I've been seeing the same angel number over and over and over and over and over again for so long. And I finally looked into it because, again, like, I've been living through this for now 7 years, more, because this started when I met Mr. X. Like, the night I met him, which was the 24th of May 2014, my life as it was changed in a way that switched something on that, I don't know, it's really weird, very hard to explain, very much only, and this is what I'm saying, I've spent all this time, like, my friends know, my family think my sister, I love her, and I'm even today is a good day, today's a fantastic day, my sister, oh my god, I love you, thank you, back on Messenger, that, you know what I mean, like, I love my sister, we may see the world 1,000% differently, I get that, I'm gonna shut it, I'm gonna put all my thoughts into here, as I said to Spice, I would never say something to my camera about someone I know that I wouldn't say to their face. It just sometimes depends on the timeline about shit. But if you're my friend and you know me in reality and you follow my blog, it's my diary. You piss me off, it's going to get talked about. I mean, Spice understood. My friends understand. I mean, I need, like, congruent. Like, when this started, absolutely nothing made me, like, could deter me. I was high on ice too, yeah? So it's not so it was drug influenced. And this, I think, is where people really get it wrong. yeah, is this mentality in our world, in this society that we have about people who take drugs. I smoke dice, absolutely. Could I talk about it in a way that might actually educate a bunch of people? Sure. Would any of these people probably take any fucking notice? No, because they need all the shit that people like me, as of at this moment in time, aren't able to prove, yeah? But, like, I know what I believe and why. And 7 years later, when I celebrate the fact that I did jump up and down on my fucking ice pipes and never ever touch it again, and I have very much been around it again, and it was only 2 weeks, right? Since the light. So 24th, last time, right? Yeah? Mind you, I hadn't seen Mr. X since the 2nd of April, right? And I know the exact day because on the 1st of April, I had had the implant on my arm taken out and it had been stuck in my muscle. So I'd had to go to the Royal Women's Hospital and have it surgically removed. Yeah? And I was with a friend. Now, the friend has disappeared from my life because I think that's a whole nother story again. Anyway, but at the time, this friend knew Mr. X, knew the entire thing, the whole thing. And it was her that came to the hospital with me, right? And it was her that taught me about these period tracking things, right? Because I'd never had to worry about it because of the implant on. And anyway, she was seeing someone. And I remember this conversation like it was yesterday, right? And she tells me she's trying for a baby. And I'm just like, what? Like, it's 3 months. I'm so confused, yeah? I was, like, I think 9 or 10 years older than her. And she was, there are lots of different people in life, and I'm not going to make comments on other people, but let's just say, generally speaking, there are people in our world who just are unable, for whatever reason, to, I personally think it's because people aren't willing to dive deep enough, because actually going within and really looking at yourself on a real, like, okay, what do I actually believe? Why do I believe this? Am I actually living according to my belief, right? Perfect example, meat eaters who love animals. I was one, like we all know, philosopher. I thought I'd be a meat eater until I died. I also thought I would smoke ice until I died, right? Not a meat eater anymore. That was my higher self. There's more stuff. Just, all the stuff is just. But what am I saying? Yeah, to be able to. One of my favorite things I've learned at university is cognitive dissonance. Yeah, which is when your mind is able to jump through like a bunch of gymnastics inside of its head to be able to justify and allow yourself to eat animals, even though you hypothetically, say, viewer, are a parent with a child and take your young children to pet the fucking barnyard animals, right? I would like all of you to tell your beautiful young child, by the way, this is what I'm feeding you for dinner, yeah? See how your child reacts if you're honest. Be honest. People say, I'm evil. I'm this bad person. I think Santa Claus is fucked up, but I was thinking about it, and this hit me last night, right? You can have every single thing be exactly the same about Christmas. Nothing has to change except one fucking tiny little thing, and it's so simple, and it will change everything. Santa Claus is a character. Frank N Furter, the love of my life besides Mr. X and my dog, yeah, is a character. Tim Curry is a man, an actor who plays Frank N Furter. Yeah? Tim Curry is not who I'm in love with. I'm in love with Frank N Furter. Every time I do that, my fucking camera, I know everything's moving because I don't know how to stay still, people. Ugh. And I know how annoying it is because it annoys me when I watch it. And my whole body's been shaking, so let's see if I can figure this shit out. Hold on. Let's try my new side pillow, hey. Oh, by the way, people, my side pillow and my knee pillow, really, really amazing fucking, what am I saying? Purchases, yeah? Oh, right, is that any better? Oh, you'll get to see my boots from that angle, don't you? Hold on, people, hold on. Better, yeah? I think that's better. Oh, I really hope the quality's okay, because I tried to clean the camera and it's just, I don't know, fucks with me. Anyway, where am I up to? Santa Claus, yeah? Everybody keeps telling me I'm this mean, horrible person that wants to take away magical things from children. No. Correction. I want you to all stop lying to your children. Boss, cut it! I want you to stop telling your children that they shouldn't do this, this, and this, and this, and then literally doing the opposite thing. Yeah? Children are the future. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about children are how we help our generation, our species. Our species is so stupid. We're so smart and so stupid. Honestly, I'm ashamed to be a human most of the time because of what it's like. Why does it keep... Oh my god, I know what it is. I remember. Right, stop. It's this shit. Alright. It's like the thing I don't want you to play. I just want you to pause it because the light changes. Anyway. Oh my god, try mouse light, you wouldn't believe, hey. So, yeah. There is absolutely no fucking need in this world why every single one of you is out there who's a parent who lies to your child about Santa. Yeah, there's no reason. It's a fucking character. Let the children have their Santa. Let the children have their tooth fairy and their fucking blah blah blah. It's a character. Oh, it doesn't have the magic involved? Here's an idea. Teach your children about the real magic in the world. There's lots of it if you look around, right? I'm getting off track. Oh, that's who I am, though, right? Let's face it. I mean, we Ubered to the city, yeah? So I got up, turned the heat on, unlocked the front door, had like super quick shower. I fucked up by not eating breakfast because I always have a big breakfast, yeah? I'll see ya. That's my dog. I wrote another giant thing on the fucking wall behind me. Anyway, where was I? So, yes, anyway, today, showering, reading, they arrived. And they arrived early because, well, like I said, I've never met Spice before, except to talk on her streaming. And she does live streaming on Twitch, and I want to live stream, but apparently it's gonna work out. I don't know. Without going into any detail, obviously I want to figure it out for YouTube, but they seem to think I'm better off to do it on Twitch. What, I don't know what the fuck it is. Anyway, something I'm looking into. Excuse me. Especially because I think it's because that pays you. Twitch pays you. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. And because I want to live stream my house, like with security cameras, kind of live streaming, like in the corner of the fucking rooms, yeah? They were like, if you put a camera in each room, except for the toilet and the bathroom, you can live stream 24/7. And I was like, why can't I want to put one in? I was like, I want to put a camera in the bathroom. And they're like, no, you're not allowed to. And I'm like, right, okay. So that's something I'm definitely looking into. Still haven't heard back about my older camera, but oh well. Anyway, I'm really, even like more and more, I'm becoming more and more heightened of shit, yeah? And at the same exact time, now that I think about it, dissociated from shit. I do need to make a I was going to say therapy appointment, but I've got one of them. I need to make a doctor's appointment. I fucking got myself a diary for the new financial year. Even says exactly what it says on my computer. It says, "You got this," yeah. And now it says it on my diary. You got this, yeah. So I'm gonna put my uni assignments and stuff on it because I actually kind of have to start doing it tomorrow, you know. And yeah, so anyway, they get here early and we're talking and sharing and whatnot, because unlike what I have always just figured, which is that people tell their partners everything unless explicitly told not to. It's not often I tell someone something that I say explicitly don't tell anyone, because let's face it, there's not a lot I don't like to share. I think the fact that I filmed my therapy, my doctors, and my specialist therapist proves that in itself, right? Anyway, I was just so wired because I've just been so wrecked, and I've had such long days, getting up at such early times, and I absolutely want to get routine and more structure, and juices like, you know, we can try for say 7 a.m. each day, and I get up and walk boss immediately. And I've done that before in the past, and I think that would be really good for both of us. Like, I know how much better I feel when I get more exercise. I feel stiff and yucky at the moment, you know. I've still got a fucking lump, which is probably going to be there forever, I've been told. Anyway, but boss also needs to be out. I spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on my dog for surgery every time he needs something, every time he needs cancer cut out. I don't walk him. I don't feel sorry for him though either, now that I think about it, because it's like my dog is probably like the most spoiled fucking dog I've ever met, and he's a huge yard, and he gets his energy right now because he does. Yes, they sound like excuses, but I also have a whole bunch of reasons why I've not been able to walk my dog. The sign that's currently connected to the shelf that Mr. X built me, that my TV's on, that says, "Have you walked boss today?" Definitely in the forefront. So I'll be taking Tuesday honours over calling me for the morning. Speaking of mornings, yes. Yesterday, we went to IKEA to get new alarm clocks, right? And I bought two because I thought I have one in my room on the other side of the room, yeah, and I'll put one in the kitchen. But then last night I couldn't figure out exactly how to set the alarm, and I was just like, well, if I can't figure this out, there's no point opening both boxes. So I set the time, and I put the little thing for the alarm, what I thought was around 7, but I honestly didn't know, yeah, and just left it in the kitchen. Now, it definitely woke me up. I can say that one. I think all the weird oil I have taken is hitting me like this, because I can feel myself just dropping as I'm talking. So all the stories I've started are probably not going to get finished, except maybe today's one. Anyway, yeah, lost in THC oil definitely works, people. Anyway, I smoked a bomb before we went. I took 2 cruises in with me. Oh my god, I gotta show you, yeah, my bag, right? And I both times now, yeah, both times I've done it. Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it. Oh my god, there's a dog walking past. Don't, now it's here. No, baby. Oh, and here's another one. No! Oi! Oh, stop! Oi! Down! Oi, get out. Sit the fuck down. Drop. Get out. Mommy doesn't want to deal with you, yeah? Mommy doesn't want to do that. Maybe let's finish. I don't know why Bolly just gets up fast. They've gone already. Anyway, I was trying to sort out my bag, so I took all the stuff out of my bag, yeah, to fit everything in around the drinks and my weed, because obviously, let's face it, I take this weed vape everywhere with me when I'm when we're Ubering places or public transport. And I took my pain meds, but I didn't eat because I don't know why. In my head, it was like I'm either going to eat my 2 fucking cheese toaster sandwiches, or I'm going to wait until we all go out together as we're going out in the city. And I went with the wait until we go out, right? Didn't even enter my head, guys. Honestly, I'm like fully on the money with so much stuff. Heightened awareness, heightened, like, blah, 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 blah. I can see things on so many different levels, and then on another hand, it's like down here, it's like, I didn't just eat a plate of fucking toast, man. That would have been the smart thing. I should have just had a piece of toast or 2, yeah? Anyway, again, none of us even thought to think of the fact that it might be like Sunday brunch time, which was exactly what it appeared to be when we hit the city, because, like, oh my god, there were people fucking everywhere. Click, 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 click. Anyway, so I took my meds. I took my pain meds. I took THC oil. I honestly can't even actually remember how much. I think it was around 0.3 or ish, but I could be just making that up too, truthfully. I've honestly no fucking idea. I know I didn't take nearly as much as I used, like I had in the past when I was doing the experiments, but that's because I haven't used the oil in a little while, right? And I have my little water bottle that's like this big and fits, yeah? Anyway, for like the last couple of weeks, I reckon at least. Come! I've been saying to pretty much anyone who listens, and, you know, myself, let's face it, I make videos every day because I like talking. And I also need to get everything I'm thinking out of me because that's just what apparently I need to do. Anyway, so look at this. This is my handbag, right? It's barely holding on, yeah? The other side was holding on by like a couple of threads down, and I can tell, but it's not there anymore, right? And it was like, I have so many fucking other bags, which is like, I do have so many other bags, but I have like one that's I bought to use as a handbag / uni bag, and it's bigger than that, but kind of the same, because I took my laptop to the store to make sure I could get one that fitted all in, which is what I was meant to change it to. Anyway, it was like, just hit me as we're walking out the door, yeah, and it's raining, and I'm like, grab my jacket, everything. My bag was to the brim filled, right? Because we're talking 2 cruises, a wallet, the vape, right? 2 little capsule things with extra vape and empty one for the empties. I don't know why I do that, because I never need to, but I do, because I never know where the day's going to take me. And the water, and just, obviously I need pain medication and normal daily medication. Like, I mean, I fucking take this shit with me. Oh, it's fun. Obviously then I need like lip balm, dry mouth stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's chock-a-block, right? And it was not until I was walking down the freaking like steps to go to the Uber that it hit me that it literally is hanging on by a thread. Like, I've been saying that because it's a fact. And then I was like, it's so fucking heavy. I was like, what if they break? And it just hits the fucking ground and everything breaks. So I was like having to hold it like this, which obviously made everything harder. Choose was a dull though, because again, if you're new, I have lots of health conditions that people don't believe are real, because apparently, according to my mom, love her to pieces, people can't have the amount of health conditions I have because it's humanly impossible. Hate to say it, but there are people on this planet who have far, far, far more than I do. I've got it really good in comparison to others. So, yeah. And I'm going to remember that from now on, because I have spent so long feeling like I have not done anything right my whole life. And since my mum only recently in the last few weeks told me that, of course, she does not believe me about my house and blah, 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 blah. It's almost like in this way, weird way, even more weird way, I'm only realizing this in this fucking moment on the 23rd of July 2023 at 4:35 in the afternoon at 35 minutes and 31 seconds, that in her doing that, I think she set me free. I've spent my entire life trying to get my mum's approval. Go back to the beginning of when these movies got made. Yeah, I've been filming therapy ever since I started doing this. It was quite fun. Like, I like to say this as a joke, but I'm starting to think I should probably clarify some more things sometimes that I say. But what am I saying since the start? Lost myself because I looked at what the fucking telly is paused on, so I'll just stop. Yeah. Anyway, bring it in. Need to lay down. Worried about my bag. Needed to change. Let me think. I truly don't know where I was at. Oh, my mum setting me free. Yeah, right. I've needed her approval my entire life. I've been in therapy for fucking years. It's been like number one thing on the top of Liv's therapy list, yeah? How do I live in a world where I only need my approval and nobody else's? It's taken 37 and a half years. Like I said, it wasn't until the video with my mum when I watched her face as I was trying to explain this body doubling thing, and as I kept trying to get her to understand, I don't get it either. Like, if you think this is mad, that sounds like it's crazy, like if any of you are like my mum and think that I'm making even a little bit of this up, I ask you to ask yourself, on what fucking planet would that do me any good? Oh, you can get disability payments. Except that I'm Kiwi and I'm stuck in limbo land, yeah? And I have been for 19 years. And I don't know about the next person, but when you're alone, disability doesn't go far. I'm very, very lucky. I'm extremely lucky. I live in a house that I pay $100 a week for, yeah? They had never planned to rent it out. The house will eventually be demolished with the building the way it is, the building construction companies the way they are at the moment here. I'm feeling pretty secure. And I am lucky in that sense, yeah? That's how I've been paying my way through uni, you know, how I was able to save up money and buy myself a car, you know? So my father came back into my life because I needed to ask him to leave me the rest. But yeah, like, I love my mum to pieces, and I think if I could have anything in the world when it comes to me and my mum, it would be for her to understand that when I say I want to get to know her, I want to get to know her as a person. It's the same with my father. I'm like, I don't have a single bit of hate, anger, resentment, any negative feelings about my childhood in relation to those two people or my family. I did. I've been in therapy for years, and I'm talking like years. Jeez, like, I love therapy. I would attend therapy every single fucking week if I could. If someone wanted to pay for me to be able to have a therapy session every week, I would take them up on that because like I said, it's amazing. There's no reason in the world to be ashamed to see someone, because you don't even look at it like help. I go to see mine and I look at it like talking to someone with an unbiased opinion, like smart, intelligent woman who knows what the fuck she's doing and is fully trained in helping me, because my invisible illnesses are, yeah, very invisible, but very fucking real too, yeah? Like, very real. Like, Spice was like, you're masking, and it's not like I'm like, no, I don't mask, so to speak. It's like, I've been living with this shit for so fucking long, yeah? It's like, I know how to, I don't like the word masking, because it kind of feels like you're putting on a mask, and I'm definitely not someone who puts on a mask, unless, you know, I'm definitely not someone who puts on a mask. Like, I don't know what to say in that round, except, like, I'm either, like, high energy, or I can be really low. I mean, I've been lately feeling amazing, except for, like, more and more and more exhausted than, like, forever, like, you know. Anyway, my bag made it until we got in the Uber. And, like, we got out of the theatre, well, you know, like, let me see where I'm up to. I didn't want to wind this up. I'm pretty sure people don't even watch all of it all the way to the end. Anyway, let me think. We got there. Oh gosh, okay, so didn't have my breakfast, yeah? I feel like I've gone off on a tangent that I may not have finished, but I can't remember. And FYI, note to you and to all and to me, when I watch this shit back and I'm like, remember, I sit here in reality watching myself on my video going, come on, Liv, you can do it, you remember. And then when I go off, I just crack myself up, if I'm honest. Anyway, I didn't eat breakfast. I was so many things on the go. Like, oh my god, like I overthink shit to a level that it's a space cadet kind of thing. I'm so zoned out in a sense because it's like my thoughts go on such overdrive. It's like they turn into white noise almost. So it's just kind of like floating along, dissociated. Yeah. Anyway, we went in the Uber and I didn't know where we were. I was quite confused for a while until we turned onto, like, I think it was, like, turns into Swanson Street. St Kilda Road, I think it is. Uber turned into, like, St Kilda Road. And I started feeling really queasy. Like, really, like, uh-oh. And I had the little water and I was, like, sweating. Now, I've been getting, like, hot and cold. Like, I've been getting the sweats a lot, yeah? Let's just call it that. Like, at work, right? My client, I kept saying, it's hot and melting. And they were like, it's definitely you. Like, it's definitely you. And I'm like, yeah, apparently it was me. Like, when we were in the Uber, I was physically feeling unwell by this point, yeah? And I was like, uh-oh. Thankfully, we had heaps of time, yeah? Because, like I said, they came early instead of freaking to hang out after, right? Now, thankfully, my beautiful client who I work with introduced me to these little bags, yeah? Don't know why I've never had them before. So they're like the little wee shopping bags from Woolworths, right? And I had it in there, and I was like, okay, so first of all, I took anti-nausea. It's weird, right? I tried to take the anti-nausea twice, right? And it kept getting stuck under my tongue. And in the end, I had to, like, literally fish it out. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to check, because I'd taken all the boxes out of the bag, yeah, with my medication in it, and just put them all because there's, like, so many, like, there's such a range of medication that I take. Oh my god, like, the fucking medication box that I use to fill the pill box from is full, guys, full. Would I like to be someone who would not be medicated? Sure. Do my doctors want that for me too? They do. Do any of us think that's going to happen? That's a time thing, yeah? Anyway, so I had all my medication in here, right? And I realized that I'd accidentally cut something that had cut the entire name of the pill off, right? Now, I've been taking my medication for a long time, yeah? So I know the pills by sight. I also have all these different fucking things in my head, and this is why, because it had got stuck under my tongue twice, I fished it out, and I'm like, okay, is there something to this? And so I read through the things, and alright, this is what I literally took them out, and I had them, and I was going, like, checking them, right? So I grabbed the two that looked the same, and, like, I'm still feeling at this point real crazy, like, I put my windows down, and I'm just, like, mid-ear, like, just while looking to ensure that the meds were the same, even though I knew that they were, which they were, and just trying to get there, yeah? Anyway, we stopped at the red lights outside of Flinders Street, right? And I managed to take the pill, get it down, and then by the time, it was only a few minutes between then and being, anyone who knows about Melbourne will know Flinders Street Station, right? And we were parked at the set of lights where the trams are. And I just look behind me at the two of them, and I'm like, I'll meet you there. I'm jumping out. I'll tram it. I'm going to be sick. I literally jumped out of the car, bolted to the, like, station. I had my phone in my hand, went to try and swipe on because my mic is on that. Realised I needed to turn my phone on, swipe, ran into the bathroom. Don't do it. Don't do it, baby. Come on. Ran to the bathroom. And it was like, I knew I needed to spit up, and I'm going to be honest and say, content warning, like, it's nothing bad, but it was like the bile was in me, so I sort of went, and it finally came up, right? It was basically nothing, because let's face it, I hadn't eaten, but it was the taking of the medication without the food. As I sent Juice a message, I was like, rookie mistake, my fucked up, yeah? But as soon as that had happened, I felt normal, back to normal, like I was good again. And I messaged him immediately saying, I'm fine. Like I should have had the fucking piece of toast or breakfast or something. Like most of the medication I've got, take with food, like, ugh. Not most, I take that back, but enough of me to know better. Anyway, the theatre was on Collins Street, so it's just one block, yeah, and I was like, I want to walk and, get the air and whatnot. Did sent me a picture with the restaurant's name, but the street was weird. I was like, that isn't even a street. I don't know what that means. And then anyway, we caught up at the set of lights and went there. It was delicious, but I don't know. It was like the only restaurant place I'd ever been where it was like the waiters could only carry one thing at a time, like cutlery, plates, coffees, everything was brought out one at a time. So my coffee was cold by the time I got food, and anyway, but they were lovely and the food was great, so all good. But yeah, but I did have to go up a couple times and ask how long it was going to be, and on the second time I was like, hey, I don't want to sound rude or anything, but like, we've got a show to get to, yeah. And I don't know, it was like magic, because then there they were. What the hell? Sorry, I was confused because there's like this thing advertising Riverdale on Netflix, and it looks like a completely different car, so I don't get it. Anyway, we went there, had food. I'm so cheeky because I talk too much. That's half my problem, right? Honestly, my food gets cold, my coffee gets cold, nothing gets finished. So I still had like 3/4 of a cup, and I'd gotten through a bit, like enough of my breakfast because again I'd taken medication by this point where I'd already needed to eat. Yeah, like, and it's difficult when you take the kind of meds I do. And I went in and I was like, can you please heat up my coffee? And I just thought they'd put it in a microwave, yeah? But they put it in a jug and then they frothed it with some milk and then they put it in a brand new cup and it went from being like 2/3 full to a full cup again, which was awesome. And then I got back to the table and they're like, hey, Liv, it's already after 12. And I was like, okay, yep, cool. Had a couple of bites, made sure my little water bottle was full again. Went back in and I was like, please don't hate me. I was like, can you please put it in a takeaway cart because we got to go now. And she's like, it's okay. They were so cute. And then I was like, do you have a takeaway container? And she's like, and I was like, I want to take my hash browns with me because I'd already wrapped them in a takeaway like napkin, yeah. And then I was just like, nah, this is who I am. I want to take my hash browns. And Spice had 2 she hadn't touched left. And I had 1 I hadn't touched. And I was like, can I please have one of you have one? And I think she thought it was really cute. But yeah, no, I definitely took the fucking hash browns. And some halloumi cheese. And yeah, the show was awesome. But I got one hell of a fucking shock when Frank N Furter came out and turned around because it was a completely different actor from the first 2 times I've seen it. So it really was like watching a brand new show. Like the 2 first times I went were different from each because that's how live productions are. They always change somewhat, yeah? But tonight's one, and it's so fucking ironic and funny, right? I said to Jews and Spies in the back of the Uber on the way home, I was like, it's just hit me that I did exactly what the song says not to do, which was I judged this new actor playing Frank N Furter during the Sweet Transvestite, like prematurely, because I was so excited to see the guy I'd already seen because the guy I'd already seen, like, nailed it. I loved how he played him. I thought it was unfucking believable. But this guy today, I think he's like an American, or he's not from Australia. I'm almost positive of that just on the accent alone. But yeah, when he turned around, I was just like, oh fuck, and it was an instant drop. But by the time he did get to the end, I was like, yeah, no, this is awesome, and I could then again see it, and again I can see it in my story just there. I instantly go to the negative, so I'm getting better, yeah, I'm definitely getting better, which is good because oh my god, something that would have in the past made me horrifically embarrassed to the point of, I reckon, maybe trying to hide tears, maybe just wanted to be gone. I don't know. It would have been bad. I know that much, yeah? Obviously, when I go to places, I do what most people do, I put my phones on silent. I put my phone so they go off, right? Somehow, I obviously missed something. It was set to silent, right? I thought it was set to do not disturb. Either way, there are particular things that are bypassed on my phone because the medication requirements that I need to know about. So anyway, I spaced 100% because even when I sat down, phone's on silent, everyone's done, yeah, check mine, thought it was all good. Again, fucking don't know how, this is full dissociation. So I'm sitting on the chair. Now this theatre fucking sucks. The show's amazing, the cast's amazing, everyone's awesome, but the actual structure of the building is terrible. And I think I'm going to write one of those feedback things and be like, the stairs absolutely need something better, like, to hold on to. Even, like, obviously the aisles, you can't have, like, full sort of handrails, but you got to have more. I warned my friends, and they were like, "Yep, you were on the money." They were like, "It is like." I'd said to them, like, "You need to stand up at the end." I'm like, audience participation is a must. I told all the people around us too before everything started. And speaking of which, I had said to my friends, the people on the side and the people behind us, I was like, when the narrator talks to us, we're meant to respond, right? And I'm like, so the first time the narrator comes out and they're like, and she goes, "May I?" And literally, guys, it was me and I think one other person, and we're talking this other person maybe a third of the volume I am. I'm sitting on the top balcony. I'm dead center, right? So on the right on our side, but from the stage looking up the left, obviously, yeah. And as every time a song ends, I'm like, wow! I'm really loud too. Turns out when I really want to be. Anyway, the narrator comes out and goes, "May I?" And I'm like, "You may!" And the whole all like theater was like, look, and I'm like, she looks right at me, and I'm like, and she's like, "Now let's try it again." And all of us join in, and I obviously thought that was hilarious, right? Because anyway, we were I'd said to my friend, like, it goes without saying, I bop along, mouth the words to myself because, let's face it, I know them all, yeah? And I've even been to this version enough to have seen how they've changed it. Anyway, I was like, but at the end when they come out for the time warp and the sweet transvestite, I was like, you need to get up, you know? I was like, I get up. I turn around and tell everyone behind me to get up. But when we got there, like, there was so little room and the balcony is so short. They were like, yeah, we're not getting up, Liv. We don't feel comfortable. And I'm like, totally respect that, yeah. But I was one of two people who stood up for the entire cast to come out and bow and did like the standing ovation and the wow, all the stuff, yeah, for the whole time. Like everyone came out, did the bows and the whole lot of it, yeah. And like, let's face it, if you're watching this video, you know what I'm like, yeah. So I'm standing up. I literally turn around, I'm holding on, turn around, look at everyone, and then I'm like, it's time to get up because they come back out and they're like, shall we do the time warp? And I'm like, yeah, like again, screaming, yelling, I'm actually answering these questions, but every time I met someone, and we ended up at the photo thing in the beginning, lots of photos, talking to people, and every time I met someone, it was like, yeah, it's my third time coming, and they're like, your third time coming to this version, and I'm like, yes, and they're like, you must love it, and I'm like, I was 9. I was like, Frank N Furter has been my role model since I was 9. I was like, my entire life is literally, when you think about it, based on this. Oh, I love it. Love, 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 love it. Anyway, so lately, and I think I have mentioned this, and I'll say it again, my everything happens for the sake of your higher self-belief, right? Believed it for a long time. A lot of what I believe because I've lived through things that you kind of have to live through to believe. So I do feel like it's the feeling of thinking I'm going to be judged badly because I'm going to make myself come across wrong, but it's all up in my fucking head, and I know this, yeah. But like, where am I at? I want to get to the story. So we're in the theater, yeah, and everything's great. And right, the reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, something happened that would have fucking like flipped me out, yeah. And like, 95% of Rocky Horror is music and singing and loud, right? Really loud. And 2 to 5% is the narrator. Yeah? When the narrator is there, there's no other sound. It's just the narrator, and the audiences in the auditorium, the theater, whatever, is quiet. Now, my phone, as far as I knew, was on silent and disturb not, turn on, and all these different things. Yeah, I've just hit 1 hour and 1 minute for me. And then my alarm starts going off. And it's going off, and it's going off, and it's getting louder. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's, again, instant fight or flight. And it's like my heart stops, and then it starts beating, and I'm into panic, and I've got to get it off, but I can't find it. And I've opened my bag, and I'm rustling. I'm trying to freak out, and I'm trying not to freak out. And then I'm thinking it's got to be in my jacket pocket, which I put under my seat, but I thought that was weird, so I went to move, and that's when I realized it was sitting like directly under my leg, and I was quickly able to get it off. But oh my God, I felt like the worst person ever. Like, I felt humiliated in those few moments. Yeah, like, oh my God, I'm that person, and I couldn't find it. And then when I realized it was under my leg, so I could have obviously turned it off within a nanosecond of hearing it and didn't, I felt even worse. And it was like this few minutes of being back in the past, right? And it was like I was almost transported back to how I knew I would feel. Like, it's me. I know how I feel. I know how I've been. Like, I I see my life as a movie, right? Most of my memories go from the next person's, like, the outsider's perspective. I don't have a lot of memories that are like first person. Let's not get into that, Olivia. I'm confused the fuck out of myself. Anyway, what am I trying to say? So yeah, it was almost in those seconds, because it was like I said, exactly when the narrator was speaking. The audience everywhere was quiet. Yeah, it was quiet. And it happened in that moment. Any other moment wouldn't have made a fucking difference. You wouldn't have heard a damn thing, yeah? And it was like, I felt it, and I recognized it, and then I remembered to breathe, and then I remembered it was all gonna be, like, it's okay, like, the world hasn't ended. And like, it took me a few moments, don't get me wrong, but I was able to pull myself out of what could have spiraled. And to spiral in Rocky wouldn't probably be fun. I don't know how that would go. It probably would just mean I'd walk out, yeah? But that would make everything worse, and it would cascade. So my point is, I'm actually really, really fucking proud of myself, because I am learning how to de-escalate, is a word my therapist loves, a lot faster. I still go into instant panic, flight or flight. Why? Absolutely no idea. That's why I have medical fucking people who I'll be making more appointments with. But again, I'm pretty sure all this heart stuff has to be checked out, because, like, I can feel my heart just beating so fast all the fucking time, right? My sister, I love you. You're a nurse now. You're a nurse, and I still haven't finished my fucking undergrad degree. Anyway, 2 units to go, people. We got this. I'm exhausted. I had an absolute blast. We went out for the intermission. We were having a vape, and I'm with obviously Juice and Spice. And this woman comes up to me. And this woman and this, I want to say child, but he's 18 plus, I think. I actually have no goddamn idea. This woman comes up to me, and I'm looking at her, and I'm thinking, before I even get the thought, she goes, "Are you Olivia?" And she goes, not never asked. She's like, "Olivia?" And I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Do you know who it is? Do I look familiar?" And I'm like, "Yes." But before I could ask their name, because I knew this person, but I, in the moment, had no idea how, because they both looked very familiar. But anyway, she told me her name, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's my stepbrother's wife and child." And I'm pretty sure I recently told a story about my stepbrother, and this is that one, because he lives in this country, in the state, obviously. He was the one that private messaged me on Facebook when I had Facebook, and I used to like to advertise or recommend sex toys. I think he messaged me about the sex swing that I posted in pictures and instructions on how to use for couples, because I thought it was around Christmas, and I thought it was a really good couple present for people to buy themselves. I stand by that post all these years later, right? Couples, sex swings, highly recommended. Yeah. Anyway, that's the stepbrother. And she tells me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, it is you," hug and whatever. And I was like, "I'll grab your number, like, we can, catch up." And she starts saying it to me, and her name pops up. And it was weird, because I was like, "Oh, your name's popping up, I must already have it saved." But then I went to send them a text message, and the name wasn't saved. So I went back in, and I realized not all phones do it. I think it's an Android versus iPhone, because most people I know are on iPhones and they don't have this feature. Whereas I'm on Android and I've had this on most of my phones. So when like, say, telemarketers and spam calls me, my phone actually tells me it's a telemarketer or spam. Yeah, it's a spam call. It's been reported as telemarketing. So I know not to answer the phone, right? But sometimes, if it's a number that calls, and this is how it was with my stepsister-in-law, it wasn't that I actually had her number. Her number is obviously registered with however this thing on my phone that tells me when spam and people and that, like, if, say for example, doctors call me, it'll come up with the name, and it's whatever these companies, they all come up with their names, yeah, as did hers. But I actually had to add her into my phone contacts to save it, which I did. But yeah, it's real weird. It's like interesting seeing them, because obviously I've seen my father and my stepmother on Monday. It's Sunday. They're leaving tomorrow. But oh my God, there's like a crack in the curtain, and he's just like, "What the fuck," Because originally, because they're taking the train, and I was like, "Oh, you can jump in the Uber with us, come to mine, and train it from there if you want." But then I realized, like, my father and stepmother are at their house for the last night, so that didn't make any sense. But yes. Anyway, I probably started stories I haven't finished. I don't know, but I had the absolute best fucking time ever. I'm honestly over the moon that I've seen it so many times. I'm happy that I got to see both versions. This other person was really good as well, and I just really want to lie down now and just watch some Mum on Netflix. It's got eight, help me people, seasons? Yeah, first season? Yeah, right. 8 seasons. I'm on season 7, episode 14. And I was saying I figured out, I may not have actually told all of you this yet, but I will share now. I figured out what to do about my TV situation, because, baby, excuse me, I've been thinking about the whole not having one in my living room, and, you know, wanting to spend more time out there, but also wanting to be able to have like friends to watch movies and whatnot, and not have them in my room, you know. And it's not like I care so much. It's just I know I spend a lot of time watching Netflix, and once I have my degree in my hand, I can watch as much Netflix as I want, right? Because I might take a long fucking break and try to figure out how to heal me. Oh, you know what I mean. Keep trying to figure me out. It's a lifelong thing, yeah. But until then, I have a lot to read. I really just need to read and read and read, and I got 2 units to go, and it just makes sense. I've realised to not buy a new TV, but to it's really weird, so I know, but it gets to like the later it gets in the night, it started hurting again, and I don't know why. So another reason to see my doctor. Anyway, I'm exhausted and I'm ready to pass out. I've been talking for an hour, really, well, almost an hour and 11 minutes. But yeah, it's been a great day. I'm wrecked. I'm just tired. I've got so heaps of school to do. It is 5:11 in the evening, and it is an hour and 11 minutes and 1 second, and that seems like a perfect time to stop. I want to watch my Netflix for the rest of the night, smoking some weed, because there's just no way I'm doing any schoolwork today. I knew that, hadn't planned to. All good. Gonna go and put my laptop back on the charger and upload this. Wonderful thing about using my laptop is it uploads while I'm writing. Not that I think there'll be a description that actually sums up this video even a little bit, considering how much I just want to drop. But yeah, it's been a really good day, and I was really happy. And like I said, I'm proud of myself. I didn't flip out. I didn't lose my mind. I'm not embarrassed. It happened exactly as it happened, because, as I've said, I've learned a number of things. I've got to be very careful. I put it on airplane mode next time, and I obviously didn't know, and it was an accident, and I'm not beating myself up, and that's fucking amazing. And for anyone out there who might be watching and think, why would you beat yourself up in the first place? Believe you me, I'm just one of many who do. Yeah. But like I said, I'm tired. Talked for a long time. I'm not sure if many people besides me even watch these all the way. Andrew used to. I don't know. I haven't seen Andrew in ages, so I hope you're feeling better. If you see this, and yeah, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Good night.